point of next fire up to see if the system is finally fully sealed, topped up, and ready to go. All we can do is keep testing, guys. That's all we can do. Tiny. Look up there, see the tiny gathering of drip. Can you see it just there? There you go. So that's just the connector. Alright, I mean, that's kind of the area I've been having trouble with. I think I'll do it one more time. Actually, look, you can see it's a bit wet. It's dripped down a touch. Alright, we're close. We're very, very close, guys, to this being a sealed unit. I think I'm going to use a little bit of silicone high temp oil resistant silicone on there as well, just to help it have a bit of a connection, and then I'm going to nip that bracket up very well. I think this should be it. I don't expect any more. This bottom bit is fine, there's no issues there at all. This pipe has no splits in it, it's in very good condition, so it's just that sealing. The other thing I could do is get a 6 up there and put a little bit of more tension on it, because I couldn't really, it kind of rounded off. Maybe I should do that. Let me see if I can put a tiny bit more tension on it, and we'll see if that fixes the problem from here, because the tank's already on. So I actually got it to bite quite a bit more using a 6 and a big extension. I'm sorry this filming's a bit repetitive, guys. I'm in two minds as to whether you want to see this and analyse this as I am, or whether I need to cut a bit more, but we'll see. I'll speed up some of the footage, but now I haven't done anything else except tighten that bracket up. We'll fire it up again. We're warm, it's easy enough. I think we finally have a sealed system. I'm going to switch you off though and let it run a couple of minutes, and we'll check it again. My ideal situation would be that the fan kicks in as well, so we should have no coolant drips at that stage, and the fan kicks in at the right temperature. Wish me luck. So far so good. It's been a good few minutes. In the way the throttle works on this bike, how responsive it is, I think this bike is running possibly better than it ever did before. I think I've done enough work on the carbs with them tuning pods, and it is so responsive to throttle. It is unbelievable. I can't see any drips left, but I am keeping my eye on. It's been about 3 or 4 minutes. I think finally this may be a sealed everyday bike, which will cool itself down and will not overheat. I think I may have spoke too soon. I think I'll give it another couple of minutes. I'm also going to take it up and down the road briefly. Test ride went well, no sign of any new leakages. Pulled strong as it should, and fan hasn't kicked in yet, but I assume it hasn't overheated. Oh, look at that, look at that. Fan is on. Great timing. Great timing. Fan will continue to do its job, cooling down until its sensor shows that it's at an acceptable level. Let's see how long that takes. It will still be monitoring its temperature. There you go. Still monitoring its temperature. And then it stops, and that was with the ignition off. That's all working exactly as it should. That's great. Bit of a clutch basket rattle. You know it's a clutch basket rattle because when you pull the clutch in, it eases up. But that's very common. It really, there's some fixes on old bikes that they're not an issue. They're just an annoyance. Pull the clutch in, clutch basket rattle disappears. nothing, no issues there. When you change your clutch plates next, when they're due, then you can think about whether you want to mess with the basket or not. An annoyance, but not an issue. So we're looking really good. What do I need to do now? I need to, there's a couple of little cleaning bits I want to do. I want to get here just cleaned up a little bit, because I just left that. And if this comes off, then I wanted to put a bit of black on that, or maybe even red, whatever I've got. Basically, if that comes off, I want to pull that off and put something on it, because I think it might have been silver. In fact, I'll probably throw a bit of silver on it. What else? Nice, it's kind of cleaning up now, which is great, guys. Yes, of course, speedo, right, I need to get the speedo wired up, and I need to get a cable that's working. Let's look at that next. That's kind of the appropriate next step, really, isn't it? Let's get a speedo on and working, because at the moment, it starts, it runs, it rides, it cools, it stops. Lovely. Now, guys, while I'm sitting here having a bite of lunch, I wanted to tell you that I've got 5 of these key rings left. At the moment, I'm selling them for £5 each. All you have to do is click on the PayPal link in each description, pay the £5 and write your name and address in there. But it will be helpful if in the comments you drop me a message saying you've done that, so that I can go and check, because PayPal don't kind of ping me or anything. So I don't know. John, was it John Trey? I don't know, did you order one, mate? Martin definitely ordered one, and I remember not necessarily seeing it until it had popped up. And secondly, I've got some t-shirts coming very soon. I've got a friend of mine has a sister who's a designer. She's designing me a small range of t-shirts. They're going to be quite simple. They're going to be one colour, kind of, ish. They're going to have some sort of motorcycle rescuer logo, and they will probably say YouTube on them. Now, the first batch, 15 I'm going to get. They're going to be trials. They're going to be trial batches. So I'm going to look at all of them and put one together that will be the long-term one. So these will be quite interesting. So when these pop up, I'll show them to you. But I suggest you're quick. I'm going to be selling them for £20 each. Now, I know that's a lot of money for a t-shirt, but they are designed and they are a one of a kind. And that's what, and also it'll cost me £4 or £5 to post it, so it's not that expensive. I will sign this first batch if people want it in Sharpie, but my signature doesn't mean much, I can guarantee that. So let me know if you have any interest. But yes, these keyrings, I've got 5 left. I can't necessarily easily get more, but I probably can. So grab some, and I look forward to the t-shirts. I'm really looking forward to the t-shirts, actually. Like I said, I've got 15 coming in the next kind of couple of weeks. Okay, guys, so the speedo cable is routed. It should be on, it should be working. Make sure you steer left and right. Check it's all good and safe. It is. Now what I need to do is pop the front of the light off and find an earth, which should be easy enough, and a power wire that only comes on when the key is on. Otherwise you'll have a dash that's always on. I'll leave the revs. We don't need the rev meter. We don't need a meter to tell us when we're over revving our bike. We can use our ears. So I'm not going to do the revs, but we're going to have a dash, and we're going to have a speedo in miles per hour, I think, hopefully. I need to watch my own video to see how I did that last time. And that's great, and I believe we can choose the colour of this. What have we got? One button, there you go, can't go wrong, one button. Yeah, and I believe we can change the colour of the dial, which is cool as well. So let me get the front of the light off, because that's where we're going to be connecting up the power from. Simple earth, simple power, but of course the power can't be an indicator. That's only powered when it's indicating, because you'll get a dash that comes on and off. I'm pretty sure I did that last time. What you want is one of the headlight lights, the main light, because there's no headlight switch here, which means it's always on when the ignition's on. So I'm pretty much a trial and error person with electrics, but you can use multimeters appropriately. I've chose what I think is an earth. Now I think this black here is an earth, so I've pushed in my earth, and I think this black and yellow here, so the middle one, black and yellow, is power, and I think it's the full-time light power down here. So my point is, if I touch that, I should get my 12 volts. However, if the ignition is off, so it's now off, I should not get 12 volts. Great. So I found my 2 wires to splice my speedo into. It's going to be this pure black one there, and on the back it's going to be the black and yellow. Pure black earth, black and yellow power. So we've got what we need from that, and that's perfect. So if you're very lucky, you will find a wiring diagram for your speedo. Green is minus, black is plus. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Black and green are generally minuses, they're generally negatives. Red should be plus. Red is speed and blue is oil. Now technically we've got all them wires within the same area I'm looking at. All I need to do is pull out the original speedo and see which one goes to what. So technically I could find the revs and hook that up, and I could find the oil, but this bike has its separate oil light, so I'm not worried about that. For now, green is minus, black is plus. Let's get that part set up and see if it registers speed. Let's start with the basics. So we should have the basic power set up now, guys. Well, how can we test this? We simply turn it on. Let's see. Ah, there you go. But blue doesn't suit this bike. It needs to be. How do we change the colours? Long press. No. Double press. No. Maybe we don't change the colours. Alright, well, let's not play too much at this stage because we're going to have to do all that setting up in a minute. This bike is killing me. Daniel, only you can help me now. Also, Gary is here, working on his Bandit. Oh.
That's nice.
Yeah, spot on, mate. That stuck on really well, didn't it? Stuck on really well.
If we want it there, then how am I going to put just some stainless tape here? There. That's it.
Yeah.
All done.
Does the job. And then we've got a because basically there's a crack in this panel, and the rest of the bike is mint. You can see that it's so Gary filled it, done a really good job actually, and he's got reflective tape. Is that right?
It's blue.
Yeah, there you go. That reflective tape, and we'll put it across, and then I think what, from here to here, or?
I think I'm going to put just like a small piece, like here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Do you know what? I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. My thought was try and get it fit, but that's effort. 2 small pieces, even on each side. I agree. And then we need to hook up the horn. Take 2 minutes. Basically, a horn is quite simple. There's your power for the horn. That comes from the button. The second one needs to go to any earth, including the battery. If you need to, you would run this all the way back to the earth on the battery. You then have a functioning... wait a minute. Guys, we've got the earth here. We now don't need to worry about running a separate wire. Okay, sorted. We had quite a debate last week about whether this did have a battery or not. Sorry, a horn or not. Right, but we've got the setup to put the horn back on there. I don't think it did. I think we bought it without the horn. But it's fine. There's a spare one there from the spare bike, so we throw it on. I like the carbon fibre front mudguard, but it's wearing thin. If we do any more paintwork soon, I think we should put a layer of clear over it to kind of give it a bit more protection, or paint it. But all that's up to Gary. Let's get it MOT'd first. And let's sort this out. So guys, this had some sort of weird homemade silicone cap on it. That's what that was. It was there, and then that was held in with this what also looks homemade plug. It was like that, and so on. But I think the seal is on the outside is doing its job. What I've done is I've put a smaller piece of fuel hose in here, and then I'm going to put a bolt through that, and I'm going to use some Where is it? There you go. Fuel and oil resistant silicone on the bolt, just on the threads, only because so it doesn't kind of spiral out. And then I think I should have patched it up enough for it to stop, as in permanently. I can understand why people do these repairs, not only the repair beforehand but my repair, because you can't find the parts. You know, I've just gone online, I've looked everywhere for this stuff, it's not there. And it gives you kind of part numbers and then it says not available, so there's no choice, sadly, on these occasions. So I'm hoping this fix works. I'm really hoping this fix works. I haven't stopped any natural flow of oil, guys. This is a small piece. It's a smaller. It's probably that size actually. And actually, if you take the bolt out, which will just be a Phillips or a Japanese spec, you'll then still be able to use this as some sort of drainage if needed. But this bike doesn't need, you don't need to drain it from here anyway, because you can drain it from anywhere. So I think this is problem fixed, but every time I say that on this bloody bike, something else goes wrong. So let's see, let's get that patched up, and my aim will be to have the cover. Where is the cover? I just had it. My aim will obviously still be to have that on there, but I had it looking quite nice. I had a nice silver, but it will just literally be a cap, guys. It's not going to be doing anything. Let me see if I can get this sealed. Okay, guys, let's catch you up. So I have to do a massive shout out to Daniel Barnes. Thank you so much for your help, mate. I would have never known what that part was called or what it was for. So oil's topped up. I've gone quite high. I've gone right to the top because I want full pressure on the repair, yes, which is on this side. Here's the repair. Now I'm going to fire up. I'm going to put you on the stand, and we're going to see if it drips. I've done that repair there, so it should be sealed. Let me put you on the stand one moment and we'll fire up. Okay, so I'll fire it up. I'll mess around with the engine and we'll keep an eye on that area there to make sure there's no oil drips at all.